Hey guys, we are back, and what you're looking at right here is the confirmed game list for the Nintendo Switch. And I counted it, and there's over 100 games now confirmed for the Nintendo Switch. Most are coming in 2017, and some are coming in to be announced, basically. But there's a lot of games coming on the Switch, and I just want to say a few of them that I'm really excited for in 2017 in particular. Of course, that'll be the ones we already talked about: Super Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Breath of the Wild, but also Yooka-Laylee is on there, Metal Slug 3 is on there, King of Fighters 98, World Heroes Perfect, Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challengers. I'm a huge fighting game fan, so those games in particular I'm really looking forward to, even though they're older games. I'm a huge fan of SNK and the Neo Geo games that they had in the past, so big Metal Slug fan, big King of Fighters fan, World Heroes, all those games, Fatal Fury, all those games I'm really a huge fan of, so I'm really excited to see those games. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, so those games I'm really looking forward to. And of course there's quite a few other ones that look pretty cool too. Granted, a lot of them are eShop games, but that's over 100 games for the Nintendo Switch coming, with the majority of them in 2017. So there's a lot of games to look forward to. Of course, the launch lineup is only 10 games so far, with half being retail, half being eShop so far, and we could be getting some more games announced for the launch day as well. So I want to know what you guys are most excited for. Which game on this list most excites you? Obviously, we have a TBA section on the list with No More Heroes, Dragon Quest X, Dragon Quest XI, Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2, Octopath Traveler. Those are all Square Enix games, and that's awesome that Square Enix is supporting the Switch so much. There's a lot of JRPG love to go around there, so especially in the future. So let me know what you guys are most excited for in the comment section, and we will discuss that as well. And next, guys, I'm going to discuss with you a topic that's been coming up in my comment section, of course, and other people have been making videos about me as well, talking about my so-called attitude towards Nintendo ever since the Switch has been revealed, saying that I am harboring resentment or something against Nintendo, but the whole thing that I already addressed back in October, I think 22nd, after the Switch was revealed. And I was looking forward to moving on, actually, from all of that. Of course, people keep bringing it up based on the last month or so, because some of the videos I've been doing have been more critical on Nintendo, but I want to make it clear 100% to you guys that that is not the case. Ever since I started doing videos like this, way back before I even had any subscribers, I was doing videos that were critical on Nintendo, and it's because I'm a huge fan and I want them to succeed. I'm going to put a link in the description of a video I did back in June of 2015 when I think I had about 20 or 30 subscribers and I was barely getting started with actually pushing this channel to get where it is now with over 14,000 subscribers. But back then I did a video criticizing Nintendo pretty hard, and I'm not really a big fan of that video that I did, but I'll put a link in the description anyway for you guys to see. I was calling for the firing of Reggie back then. I was pretty frustrated with Nintendo at the time. It was back when they did that E3 presentation with Nintendo saying, hey, we got one more thing to show, and it was actually of people doing their favorite Mario impersonation and sharing their video online, and that's all it was. And then I heavily criticized Reggie, and I wanted him fired in that video. Of course, I didn't care because I had no subscribers, and I didn't care what people thought because I'm just a fan and speaking my mind and all that stuff. And so I was really harsh in that video. Didn't change the fact that I'm a Nintendo fan though. So the things I said about Reggie and how Nintendo communicates in that last video I did, that's actually something I felt for quite a long time. It wasn't just starting right now. And if you look at my videos that I've been doing since the Switch was revealed, from November to December, a lot of them were really positive videos, and a lot of them were based on some really cool rumors and brand new announced games. We had Seasons of Heaven that I actually announced on my channel first before anyone else. I didn't know the title of the game at the time, but I did announce that it was coming before anyone else did. And then we also covered the rumor of Red Dead Redemption coming to the Switch possibility. We also covered the Dark Souls 3 rumor coming to the Switch. We covered the USB Type-C port that could be an expansion for the Switch, having an external GPU be attached to it and things like that. Being really excited about the possibilities. We talked about VR, we talked about Zelda, we did some analysis on it. All kinds of really cool and positive videos that I did during that time. So if I was really that affected personally by all that stuff, which I wasn't, and I addressed already in that one video I did after the reveal, then don't you think I'll be making videos day after day after day bashing Nintendo, bashing the Switch? No, I didn't do that at all. And also, I haven't been bashing the Switch either in my recent videos as well. It's been more about taking a critical look at what Nintendo has been doing, because a lot of the information that has come out recently has not been as positive from other sources, not me, I'm not making things up, but it hasn't been as positive from other sources, and I feel it warrants discussion. Like I said in previous videos, if the Switch does become an issue to developers for them actually not putting games on the system or doing a wait and see approach, I would be making videos and discussing it. That's just a matter of fact. Say for example, in the last year or so, I was saying, yeah, I agree with Eurogamer and it's gonna be a hybrid device and blah blah blah, right? And say I totally jumped on the bandwagon and all that kind of stuff. Guess what? I would still be making the same type of videos I'm making now because the same concerns exist. That is a fact. The concerns exist, whether this channel exists or not, the same concerns exist. And the choice that I make to discuss these concerns is my choice. And why is that? Well, because Nintendo really matters to me. It really matters that they are successful in the industry. Personally, I want Nintendo to be number one. I want them to be the best that they can possibly be. I don't think personally that Nintendo fans should just settle for second best, third best, fourth best, whatever, or not successful at all, or just be happy with what they're getting. I don't believe in that philosophy because I've seen it all with Nintendo. I've seen them at the very top of the entire industry. I've seen them dominate, and I think they deserve to be at the very best and the top of the industry. And I want them to be. So the concerns that I share is based on the fact that I want them to be the best, which is why you don't see me talking about Sony or Microsoft here, right? Because Sony and Microsoft don't interest me like Nintendo interests me. I'll give you guys an example. Say you're a father and you have like a 5-year-old, 6-year-old son, and he wants to try out for Little League, baseball, or softball, or what have you. So you take him to practice, you get him a coach, he joins a team, and he starts making some fundamental mistakes with his approach to the game. You as a father, what is the tendency for you to do? You love your son, you want him to be the absolute best that he can possibly be. What is the tendency for you to do? Well, the tendency is to be critical, right? And is to try to get your son to do a lot better, give him some tips, give him some help, try to encourage him to do a lot better than what he's currently doing. The worst thing you could do would be to tell your son that he's doing great, everything he's doing is perfect, he has good form, you know, and oh, don't worry about that, it's going to be great, you're going to make the team, you're going to do great, oh my gosh, you're the best player on the team, and not give any help to your son. That would not be very smart. Why is that? Because guess what? You come home one day, your son comes to you crying and says that he was cut from the team, and he blames you for not telling him that he wasn't doing some things correctly. He says, oh, I don't understand why I was cut from the team. You said I was doing everything great, but everyone around me told me that I'm terrible, and the coach said I'm terrible, they cut me from the team. Why did you do this to me? You as a parent have a responsibility to make sure your child is informed of the correct way to do things, right? Okay, taking that example as a fan, granted, we are not parents of Nintendo, but we do have a voice to say something before the system is even released. These are things that should be said before the system makes it to the market, because Nintendo still has time to change things. They still have time to make adjustments, so now is the time to speak and offer suggestions on how Nintendo can improve with the Switch right now, instead of waiting until later until it's too late. In my opinion, Nintendo has always had a problem with communicating with developers and with their fans. I think it's been going on for quite a long time, and in more recent years they've had a problem with third party getting onto their platform. And I see the other side of the coin, guys. I know where you're coming from. Like, hey, just be excited for the Switch and just get the games, and oh my gosh, don't make such a big deal about these things. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. However, like I said, there's no reason to settle for second or third or fourth best in the industry when you could be the best if you really, really put forth the effort to do so. And I'm talking about Nintendo, of course. I think Nintendo should be number one in the industry, and that's where I want them to be. They didn't get there with the Wii U. I loved the Wii U. I thought it was a great system and had some really excellent games on there. Unfortunately, not enough people bought the system, and third party didn't support the system. But I absolutely loved the Wii U. I thought it was a great system, just very short-lived. So when the Switch was first revealed and they had the big developer list and he had all these rumors coming out of all these games coming to the Switch, that was really exciting, right? We had a lot of good content to talk about and a lot of games to look forward to that we were hoping would come to the system. Now that we see the announced games for the system, we don't see a lot of those games that were originally rumored. We don't see Final Fantasy 15, we don't see Final Fantasy 7 Remake, we don't see Red Dead Redemption 2, we don't see any of the top third-party games coming to the system besides FIFA and a Skyrim port, which is based on the game that came out 5 years ago. I'm very thankful we have Square Enix on board. I'm really happy about that, actually. But the point is, when you think about third-party guys, and this is just a fact, it's not even my assumption, it's not speculation. Fact of the matter is, third party has driven revenue of the multi-billion-dollar industry of video games for the past 10 years. Without third party support, I'm talking about Western AAA third party support, without that on the Nintendo system, the system is not going to be as successful as the other platforms. That's just a fact. The huge franchises have really pushed the industry forward in revenue. Grand Theft Auto, Madden, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Final Fantasy series, Assassin's Creed, Metal Gear Solid, and more recently The Witcher, Overwatch, Borderlands, the Destiny series, Resident Evil, and probably more that I have not listed. But those games over the last 5-6 years or more have really driven the video game industry as a whole. Nintendo first party games have not necessarily done that. They have sold really well individually. Mario Kart 8 has sold over 8 million, Splatoon has sold over 5 million on the Wii U, but they haven't really driven the industry as much as those games I just talked about that are multi-platform, AAA third-party experiences. So I want to make it clear, I love Xenoblade Chronicles, I love Mario, I love Zelda, I love all these great series and IPs that Nintendo has, but in order to drive the industry and be number one, because Nintendo does want to be number one, right? They're not just trying to be some kind of, side competitor, right? They do want to be number one, and go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong. If they don't want to be number one, let me know. I had never heard Nintendo say that before, so if they want to be number one, Nintendo needs to have the third-party support and, of course, the first-party games to drive their system to be number one. So I hope you can see where I'm coming from, guys. You criticize the people and companies that you love. I love Nintendo. I want them to be number one. I criticize them because I'm disappointed in some of the directions they've been taking. Doesn't mean I'm not going to buy the games. Doesn't mean I'm not excited for the games. I am. And I think having over 100 games for the Switch is a great start, and a lot of it is coming in 2017. And for some reason, if the Switch is not number one, or if Nintendo doesn't become a huge success with the Switch, I am still a 100% Nintendo fan. I always will be. And I am far more optimistic than you may think about Nintendo's future. I am extremely excited about Nintendo's future. I think they have some great things ahead of them. They have a lot of surprises planned for us that we don't know about, so I am extremely excited about Nintendo in 2017. I don't think we've seen it all yet. I think there's a lot more to come, guys. So I want to reiterate one more time, go look at my videos from late October, November, and December, and you will see very clearly that I was not down on the Switch at all. I was making very positive videos. There was a lot of good information that was coming out at the time, a lot of cool rumors that we talked about. It was great. And even last week, just last Monday, I did a video on that Foxconn information that was really cool as well, right? So there's a lot of things to be excited for. But basically, I'm not going to ignore the concerns with Nintendo, because why would I? Why would somebody who cares so much about a company and is a fan of them ignore something that could be hindering them? You see what I'm saying? I want to say what I'm going to say about it now, so when the ends justify the means, when the system comes out later in the year, hopefully Nintendo does communicate with developers and get more third party on board, put some money out there and get more of these games coming to the system, because they do need high profile third party games in the system. This is a fact. They do need it to sell, and don't sit there and tell me that Nintendo does not want to be number one, because they definitely do. And I 100% support them in being successful in selling their consoles and selling their games, and they deserve to have all that third-party support and more, because their systems and their games usually are the most innovative and have the best gameplay design, and they forward the industry in their creative thinking. So basically, guys, that's the kind of Nintendo fan that I am. I have really high expectations, and I have seen Nintendo be at the top of their game. So basically, that's where I'm coming from with my criticisms, but it doesn't mean I'm going anywhere as a Nintendo fan. I'm going to be right here, not going anywhere. Then we can get into the whole YouTube thing, you If you want your channel to be successful, you gotta focus on the positive things all the time and really hype up Nintendo, and really make it all about getting the fans excited. And that is true. You've seen Nintendo focused channels get a lot of subscribers because it's all based on hype, right? And the person giving you information is happy about absolutely everything. There's nothing wrong with Nintendo. There's no negatives to it at all. It's perfect all the time. Happy-go-lucky Nintendo all the time. So for me, I'm willing to get a few dislikes in my videos and a few people calling me names or whatever because they don't like what I'm saying. At least I'm not sacrificing my opinions just to get more subscribers on my channel. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to speaking your mind, this is what YouTube's all about, right? You want to speak your mind and you want to share your opinions. If you disagree, you disagree. If you agree, you agree. At the end of the day, we are Nintendo fans. I am a Nintendo fan. You may be a different type of Nintendo fan, and that's fine. But as you guys have seen, especially some of you have left really negative comments towards me, I'm willing to discuss things with you one-on-one in the comment section and discuss things in a respectful way. So if you enjoy doing that with me, I encourage you to stick around and keep discussing with me because things are going to keep getting interesting as we go through 2017. I guarantee it. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and leave me a comment, and I'll talk to you very soon in the next video. Take care.